Caitlin Clark is not just another rookie, she's the Taylor Swift of women's basketball, and she's here to change the game. The Indiana Fever have gone from being the league's doormat to the hottest ticket in town, all thanks to Clark. This 23-year-old sensation isn't just dribbling a ball, she's drumming up a frenzy that's got fans buzzing like they just spotted their favorite pop star at a coffee shop. With her arrival, the Fever are not just aiming for a playoff spot, they're on a mission to shake up the entire WNBA. In a sense, the Fever are the league's most attractive free agent destination. They play in front of packed crowds every night and feature the best young player in the game, Caitlin Clark. Forget the usual just win games mantra, they're out here trying to break records and fill arenas like never before. Meanwhile, Clark's contract is a mere blip on the radar compared to the economic explosion she's causing, selling out games and skyrocketing merchandise sales faster than you can say Taylor Swift 20. So, how did a team that couldn't buy a win for 8 years suddenly become the talk of the town? Is Caitlin Clark really the superstar the WNBA needs, or is she simply riding the hype train? Buckle up, because we're about to dive into how one rookie is flipping the script and making waves bigger than a Swiftie concert. But before we dive into the juicy details, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. You won't want to miss any of the wild twists and turns in this electrifying season ahead. The Indiana Fever didn't just tweak their roster this offseason, they set it on fire. After years of mediocrity, they grabbed a generational talent in Caitlin Clark, added firepower around her, and handed the coaching reins to a familiar face. The Fever aren't just trying to win games, they're trying to break the WNBA, and leading the charge, a 23-year-old from Iowa who might just be the biggest thing to happen to women's basketball since the league's inception. But let's not pretend this is just about basketball. Clark isn't just a star, she's a phenomenon, a walking economy, a human turnstile flipper, and apparently Taylor Swift 20, at least that's what her new head coach Stephanie White thinks. And honestly, she's got a point. The Fever weren't just bad, they were invisible. Before Clark arrived, the Fever were a ghost town, no playoff appearances for 8 years. A team so forgettable that even hardcore WNBA fans struggled to name their starting lineup. But that's what happens when you finish at the bottom of the league year after year, burning through coaches and failed draft picks like a malfunctioning slot machine. Then came the reset. First, they brought back Stephanie White, the former Fever coach who led the team from 2014 to 2016. White isn't just a coach, she's a Fever alum. Someone who understands the identity of a franchise that once upon a time actually mattered. And with her return, Indiana sent a clear message. The Fever weren't here to be the league's punching bag any more than the blockbuster trade. Indiana pulled off a multi-team deal that sent shockwaves through the league. They traded away Nalissa Smith-Ty Harris and the number 8 pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, bringing in Sophie Cunningham from Phoenix and the number 19 pick. So Sophie Cunningham was traded to the Indiana Fever in a trade that a lot of people are really confused at. Oh, and Sada Sabali, yes, she got shipped off to Phoenix in the process, because why not throw in a little extra chaos? Cunningham isn't just another shooter, she's got an edge. Think of her as the perfect wingman for Clark, and she's already playing the role beautifully, jokingly calling herself Sabrina Carpenter to Clark's Taylor Swift. I told people upstairs I will be her Sabrina Carpenter any day, to her Taylor Swift, Cunningham quipped. And just like that, the narrative had its tagline, Caitlin Clark is worth more than every WNBA contract combined, and she knows it now. Let's talk money. Caitlin Clark is set to make a mere $78,000 in the 2025 season. Let that sink in for a moment. This is a player who in just 1 year has likely generated tens of millions in ticket sales, sponsorships, and TV deals for the WNBA. Yet under the league's current salary structure, she's earning less than what some NBA rookies make in a single game. Her agent Aaron Kane didn't hold back when discussing this disparity. It's impossible to fully compensate Clark for what she's worth. And she's absolutely right. Fans went wild when her salary was revealed. Some argued that she should have stayed in college, where she could have raked in 7 figures through nil deals. Others even claimed she could start her own league and bankrupt the WNBA. Hyperbole, maybe, but the numbers don't lie. Clark's mere presence is reshaping the WNBA's entire economic landscape. Indiana Fever games are selling out arenas they never even dreamed of filling. TV ratings for women's basketball have skyrocketed, and networks are scrambling to get a slice of this newfound excitement. And let's not forget about the Fever themselves. Their season tickets gone, merchandise sales through the roof. Relevance restored overnight. Clark isn't just a player, she's a franchise. She's become the face of a movement, and now she's being tasked with saving the WNBA itself. It's a heavy burden for someone so young. But if anyone can handle it, it's her. So, is Clark really Taylor Swift 20? Stephanie White sure thinks so. She's incredibly humble, understands the big picture, and manages it all so gracefully, White said. She's very much Taylor Swift 20. At first, that might sound like a stretch, but let's break it down. Like Swift, Clark has this almost cult-like following. Seriously, her mere presence sends ticket prices soaring faster than a cat video goes viral. She's not just playing basketball, she's carrying the whole WNBA on her back. And let's be real, that's a lot of pressure with the media constantly buzzing around her. She's navigating the spotlight like a pro, just like our girl Taylor. And here's the kicker, Clark doesn't seem fazed by all the chaos. At just 23 years old, she's handling expectations that would make most people buckle at the knees. She's not just representing herself, she's the face of a movement, and that's no small feat. But Indiana knows they can't let her burn out. White has made it crystal clear that protecting Clark's mental well-being is a top priority. The Fever are treating her like a once-in-a-lifetime asset, which means they're all about guarding her peace. They're managing her exposure and making sure she doesn't get overwhelmed by the whirlwind of fame and expectations, because, let's face it, if the Fever's future hinges on Clark, they'd better ensure she isn't running on empty by year 3. After all, we want to see her shine, not fizzle out. So, is Caitlin Clark really Taylor Swift 20? Maybe she is, and if that's the case, we're all here for the concert. Clark isn't walking into Indiana alone. She's got some serious firepower by her side, and that's where things get exciting. Aaliyah Boston, the 2023 WNBA Rookie of the Year, is all in on this revamped squad. She's ready to shake things up. We want to play fast, we want to run, but most importantly, we want to win games, Boston declared. And let's be real, that's the name of the game, winning. The Fever haven't sniffed the playoffs since 2016, and while Clark is the star attraction, she's got some real talent surrounding her. Boston is a dominant force in the paint, and then there's Kelsey Mitchell. She could have taken her talents elsewhere in free agency, but she decided to stick around in Indiana because she sees the magic brewing. Mitchell is the kind of scorer that defenses can't ignore. That's huge. With her on the court, Clark can breathe a little easier. Less pressure means more open looks for Clark, and that's a recipe for success. This isn't just about surviving anymore. Indiana is aiming for something way bigger. This team isn't just trying to be decent. They're gunning for greatness. With Clark, Boston, and Mitchell all in the mix, the Fever are ready to turn things around and make a serious playoff push. It's about time, right? Let's see if they can finally bring the heat and show the league what they're made of. And then there's Boston. Yes, that Boston. Speaking of WNBA expansion, the league is growing faster than anyone expected. And now Boston wants in a group led by none other than Donnie Wahlberg, yes, from New Kids on the Block. And former NBA player Michael Carter-Williams is making a serious push to bring a team to the city. Boston Women's Basketball Partners is leading the charge, and if their bid goes through, we could see the WNBA expand to a whopping 16 teams by 2028. But hold up, it won't come cheap. Cleveland reportedly shelled out a record-breaking $250 million for their expansion fee, which is double what Portland paid in 2024. Ouch, still the demand is definitely there. When the Connecticut Sun played a sold-out game in Boston against the LA Sparks last year, it showed that the city is hungry for a team. And now Clark and the Fever are set to battle it out against the Sun at TD Garden in August. Coincidence? Not a chance. Boston is watching closely. If the Fever's momentum keeps building, the WNBA could be on the brink of its biggest expansion era yet. From college superstar to WNBA savior, Clark's journey is unfolding in real time, and the world is watching every second of it. She's changing the way women's basketball is perceived, breaking financial models that were never designed for someone like her, and proving that the WNBA isn't just ready for a superstar, it needs one. And if she's really Taylor Swift 20, then Indiana Fever tickets just became front row seats to the Eras Tour. Caitlin Clark is shaking things up in the WNBA like a soda can before a summer barbecue. The Indiana Fever wants the league's best-kept secret, and not in a good way. The Fever just made another big move in WNBA free agency. But wait, I thought no one wanted to play in Indiana are now the hottest topic in women's basketball. With Clark's arrival, they've gone From being invisible to must-see TV, seriously, it's like they flipped a switch, and suddenly fans are lining up for tickets like they're waiting for the latest iPhone drop. But let's get real, it's not just about her skills on the court. Clark is a marketing dream. She's selling out arenas, boosting merchandise sales, and drawing in TV viewers like moths to a flame. It's almost unfair to other players. She's like the main character in a movie while everyone else is just background noise. And don't even get me started on her salary, making $78,000 while generating millions. That's like finding a penny while your friend finds a gold bar. Now, is this pressure too much for a 23-year-old? Maybe, but Clark seems to be handling it like a pro, balancing fame and expectations without breaking a sweat. The Fever is treating her like the rare gem. She is making sure she doesn't burn out before she even gets started. In the end, Caitlin Clark isn't just a player, she's a movement. She's redefining what it means to be a superstar in women's sports, and if the Fever play their cards right, they might just ride her coattails to a championship. So here's the bold and strong statement: Caitlin Clark isn't just the future of the WNBA. She's the revolution it desperately needed, and that's a wrap. So, what do you think? Is Caitlin Clark the game changer the WNBA has been waiting for, or is all this hype just a flash in the pan? Can the Indiana Fever really turn their luck around with her on the team, or are they setting themselves up for disappointment? Also, how do you feel about her salary compared to the impact she's making? Should the league rethink its pay structure for superstars like her? I want to hear all your thoughts in the comments. And hey, if you enjoyed this discussion, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for all the latest WNBA buzz, drama, and deep dives. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Catch y'all in the next one. Thanks for watching, and subscribe my channel.